stop trying to manifest. Think of your beliefs as software. They are powerless if the underlying hardware, your body, is failing. When your bioelectric voltage drops, your reality effectively goes offline. We often mistake the law of attraction for magic, but it's actually just a misunderstood user interface for a complex biological machine. If your system is in critical failure, no amount of POSIS software can override a hardware crash. Prioritize the machine, or your reality remains disconnected. Resting membrane potential, or VMEM, is bioelectric information that dictates cell fate. While we often focus on DNA, VMEM regulates proliferation and differentiation before genes are even expressed. Hyperpolarized states drive healthy morphogenesis, whereas depolarization, moving into that red zone, is a hallmark of tumorogenesis. By manipulating ion channels, we can actually suppress tumor formation or induce regeneration independent of genetic mutations, effectively reprogramming tissue geometry through this fundamental electrical code. Think of gap junctions as the body's hardwired internet. By sharing electrical and metabolic data, individual cells merge into a hyperagent, a unified consciousness that scales intelligence far beyond the single cell. While an individual cell focuses on narrow metabolic survival, the network pursues complex anatomical goals, like building a limb or a brain. This is the biological basis of coherence, where collective intelligence creates a functional whole that is truly greater than the sum of its parts. System fragmentation represents a fundamental crash in biological communication. It begins when low voltage triggers a failure in gap junction gating, effectively cutting the cell off from the network. In this isolation, cells revert to a primitive, selfish state known as cancer. This is where intelligence fragments. Without a unified signal, the organism ceases to be a coherent transmitter and becomes a mere collection of parts. When connectivity fails, the signal is lost. What if DNA isn't the only blueprint for life? In morphogenesis, bioelectric fields serve as a hidden memory of what a body should look like. By modulating these voltage gradients, we can effectively hack the system. We've demonstrated this by inducing a planaria to regenerate a second head without ever touching its DNA. This represents a paradigm shift, moving from simple repair to true biological architecture, where we are no longer confined by our genetic factory settings. Let's examine the pineal piezoelectric circuit. Within the pineal gland, we find calcite microcrystals that serve as biological hardware. Through the physics of piezoelectricity, these crystals act as transducers, expanding and contracting in response to electromagnetic fields. Activating this circuit requires precise systemic voltage control, creating a critical bridge between our internal bioelectricity and the external fields surrounding us. Think of your brain not as a passive recorder, but as a relentless prediction engine. Through active inference, we construct reality by balancing our priors, our past memories and experiences, against incoming sensory data. The critical factor is precision weighting. When our internal expectations are weighted more heavily than the present moment, the brain effectively overwrites sensory reality. This creates a hunger for confirmation, where we subconsciously filter the world to force it into alignment with our own predictions. The destiny trap illustrates how trauma imprints frozen priors, high-precision threat expectations that create a deep attractor basin. This isn't a comfort zone of ease, but a gravity well of narrow predictability. Because these are deep neurobiological grooves, simple affirmations often lack the precision to overwrite them. We cannot simply think our way out of a biological voltage deficit. We must address the system that predicts danger, even in neutral spaces. Think of intention as precision engineering for the mind. It acts as a force that modulates precision within our predictive hierarchy, transforming incoherent noise into a high-precision, coherent signal. By consciously guiding our attention, we redistribute confidence across neural pathways, using oscillatory synchrony to stabilize these shifts. This allows a new prediction to persist long enough to become the dominant prior, effectively re-engineering our internal reality from the inside out. Think of membrane potential not just as a charge, but as the architect of biological form and cognition. By restoring VMEM and opening gap junctions, we expand the cognitive light cone and create a state of high neural plasticity,